Hi Tigers! It's Miss Canary here. Finally made a new video for you guys and I'm happy that I can be of some kind of help, and it's really nice that someone actually listened to what I said and sent me a screenshot of what they need help with so I can actually show a lot of you guys. I'm going to post this on Google Classroom, and it will probably be a YouTube video because I've tried to do it multiple ways and I recorded it like almost 5 times now, and yeah, since I don't know if you can open that on a Chromebook, I'm just not going to risk it and probably make it a YouTube video, but we'll see. And I really need you to stay up on your work, on top of your work, regarding your 2 topics every day, because 2 topics is really not hard. It's not. And I know that you're getting hard topics since you're going to different levels of math in different grades, but it still doesn't matter. As long as you want to learn, you will learn. And you just need to do practice. You just need to send me your questions, and I'll do my best to help you. So this is just an example from a student, and yeah, without revealing who that is, I'm just going to show you how to solve these types of problems. So here we have writing an inequality for a real world situation. So this is when you're literally like, how am I even going to use this in my real life? Like, this is not how math never does that. This is what I used to say too when I was a student, but now I can totally relate. So when we look at question 1, it says to get the 10% discount, a shopper must spend at least $400 worth of stuff. So that means that when you go shopping, I don't know if you've ever come across this, but whenever they offer coupons, usually, they tell you, hey, you need to at least do some sort of shopping to reach $400, or you're either going to go on top of that number, but you cannot go below this number. So don't expect to do like, I don't know, $10 worth of shopping and get a coupon. That's why they try to do like a high number so that they can give you like a small bit of a discount. So in this case, they say at least $400. One thing you need to really worry about to solve these questions is to look at your keywords, which is at least or no more than and stuff like that. So if you pay attention to those, you'll be able to figure out your signs in no time, and the rest is a piece of cake. So for number 1, I'm going to do 3 key questions for this one. And don't forget that we have to have variables. So use D to represent the spending in dollars of a shopper who gets the discount. This just shows us the person who's doing the shopping, and we're just going to make up a sentence basically using these formulas to basically say the same thing as this. Okay, so it says, can I go over that number? Can I go over $400 of shopping? Yes, because at least just means either equal to that number or greater than that number, but it cannot be less than that number. Then it says, can I have just that number? Can I just have $400 worth of shopping? Of course, yes, it can be equal to $400. Can it be maybe like just 1 cent off? I mean, I'm close anyway, right? It's just a cent. So does it really matter? Well, you might ask that, but of course it does. It has to be at least $400. So can I go below that number? That answers your question. No, you may not. So the symbols that we need to put for those is I can go either equal to that number, or I can make it bigger than that number. I can do more shopping than $400. So that will be our equation. We're going to have to use something that satisfies both this symbol and this symbol, which is this one right here. If you guess this one, you are right. So our variable is D. Usually if you write variables, it'll be much more easy on you than if you were to write the variable after your number, because you're going to have to flip your symbols and stuff, and it's going to get a little bit chaotic. So I think that you should probably start out doing these until you get the hang of it. So first start out with your variable, and your variable is usually the letter. So D, can be either equal to or greater than $400, which is this sign, right? So let's pull up that symbol. 1 second, let me pull that up. Okay, found it, and it's this sign, and then we're gonna write our number, which is 400. I don't know if Alex wants you to put the dollar sign, but you're gonna have to do trial and error or explanation, which is right here, to see if they want that. I don't think that it's a big deal. So now we're gonna move on to our next question. And so, alright, so let's tackle the next question. Let me read that. The temperature inside the lab refrigerator is no more than 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Usually, well, all the time, fridges need to be cold, right? If they go over a couple degrees, or if they don't stay at their baseline degree of coldness, then guess what? Things are going to spoil and you're not going to be able to eat it. So they need to be at least some number, or it can be colder, right? And I'm not talking about the freezer, because if you do that, that's going to be at the freezing level. But that's another thing we don't need to worry about. So in here, we're just talking about the temperature that's inside the refrigerator, of this specific refrigerator. They're telling us is it needs to be no more than 40 degrees Fahrenheit. What does no more than mean? I need you to ask yourself that. And let's go over these numbers, or these bullet points for each question. If you write this down in your notes, this will be really helpful for you. So, no more than means that you cannot go over 40. So this just means a no. Can I have just that number? Can I just have 40? Can it stop at 40 degrees Fahrenheit? Of course. It says no more than, so since I'm not going more than 40, I can stay at 40. So yes. So we have our equal sign for that. And then it says, can I go below that number? Sure. It just needs to be no more than 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So our less than, sign is going to look like that. So let me write yes. And these. Let's not confuse. Okay. So we need to include both of these. And I already wrote down the variable for you, since they said to use T to represent the temperature in Fahrenheit, in degrees Fahrenheit of the refrigerator. So we're going to put our variable first, like I said. Then we're going to put our sign, a combination of this and this, which is, drumroll, that, right? So let's put our sign for that. Oh no, okay. And then we're going to put our limit number that they gave us, which is 40. Now that is your answer. Let's move this up. Okay, so like I said, just keep asking yourself these 3 key questions and keep taking notes. And one more case I want to talk about is sometimes it'll just be one of these. Like for example, it's going to say that, I don't know, like a fridge cannot go, like a fridge can have, why can't I talk? So a fridge has to be less than 30 degrees Celsius. Then that just means that you cannot have it equal to 30 degrees Celsius either. So don't be confused when you don't have the equal sign. Okay, it just depends on your question. If you don't know what these symbols are, please make sure to email me, send a screenshot. I'll go over them. They're really easy. There are different ways in which you can memorize them, so they stick in your head. And yeah, I really would like to help you guys out, so don't hesitate, don't feel shy to ask me. As always, I am here for you, And let's go Tigers. I miss y'all. Have a good day. Please stay safe and warm inside. Let's all stay home. Alright? Then see you guys later, Tigers. Bye.